All right, we are live.
Awesome. Hello, everybody. We hope you are doing well. My name is Vrunda Kapadia, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer of FACTS. And I'm super excited to welcome all of you to the first ever Facebook Live by FACTS. With me, I have Ravneet Singh, who's the Chief Information Officer of FACTS and who's been with FACTS for a very, very long time. And he's one of the founding members of this organization. So, welcome, Ravneet.
Thank you, Vrunda. Very excited to go live. This is our first live on Facebook, and we are getting a lot of questions about what are we going to talk during the live session. And we are very honored to be the first two staff members of the FACTS, the volunteers of the FACTS, to go live and answer questions. So welcome everyone, and thank you everyone for giving us the opportunity to serve PT community. While we are also growing with you guys, we are very pleased to help you guys through your evaluation processes through a non-profit organization called FCPT. All right, the only purpose of the FCPT is to help foreign trained PTs make your life easy, make your journey a little more joyful towards your NPTE and towards your dream of practicing in the United States, right?
I agree. Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Ravneet, you'll agree with me that everybody who's on the FACTS team, whether it is the PhD instructors, the DPTs, the tdpts, the foreign trained PTs, and all the licensed professional and volunteers who spend countless hours with us, they've all been through the same journey as all of you are going through right now. And we're really excited to help you in any way possible.
Absolutely. Vrunda, let's wait for the questions to come. And sometimes it takes time for the questions to show when you go through the live. So we will wait for the questions to come, and we are here to listen to your questions, guys. So go ahead, don't hesitate to ask questions. So we are looking at different devices at this moment so that we don't skip any questions. While we get some questions on the Facebook, Vrunda, would you like to share your experiences? Like, you've been working with foreign trained PTs for a long time, and you are a foreign trained PT, who had gone through all the process. What are your thoughts on the changes, being made recently, or the changes have been, we have been expecting to be made in future, or anything about that you want to tell our foreign trained PTs? Oh, this could help you better to get your eligibility in NPTE.
I agree. That's a great question. I think different people who come from different parts of the world have various different types of experiences. And I think it can be a little overwhelming as a foreign educated PT, because there are 10 different things to do, and it's not like all the rules and regulations are the same for every state, right? Like, depending on the state that you're applying to, or depending on the country that you come from, or your education status, or your visa status, all of that plays a huge role. But I think I'm glad that we have something like FACTS, or just even on the FACTS on the page, on our Facebook page, if we see there are so many students who are more than happy to help one another out. So I think that's really exciting to see. And I think state selection is definitely going to be one of the most important criteria to consider when you're talking about being eligible to take the NPTE. And like how most of us know, like states that accept retro coursework tools, or states like New York, are definitely good options for most students, right?
All right, great. Thank you for your insights. We have our questions coming on, Vrunda. So I'm going to read our first question. The question is asked by Vincent, and he says, hey, is it better to use CGFNS for visa screening than FCCPT? I currently have CWT6 now. If CGFNS, how many CWT6 do they require? So the answer to this question is, well, you got it right. CGFNS and FCCPT are the two agencies which have the privilege through the immigration to give you visa screening certificate. But guys, we have to understand that CWT6 is a tool made by or I would say proposed by FSBPT, that, hey, every international student, if they require a visa screening certificate, these are the courses that they should be showing in their report. So when you're talking about the CWD6, the courses are not going to be different. Yes, CGFNS and FCCPT has their own criteria to look into the reports, look into the syllabus and the objectives. One hand, FCCPT asks you to take 210 number of credits to get visa screening certificate, and CGFNS asks you to take 170 credits. It's only the conversion of the credits that been converted through your objectives, your syllabus to the report. The courses, the names of the courses does matter. The content in the courses does matter. So there, if you are lacking in certain courses with the report through FCCPT, the same courses are going to be shown in the report of the CGFNS. Yes, the number of credits may be a little less, but not the courses. So in a nutshell, I do not recommend you to go with CGFNS if you already have CWD6 from FCCPT, because it's going to be the same thing. You still have to do all the courses again, right? All right. Vrunda, would you like to take the next question?
Yes, sure, Ravneet. We have a second question from Manuel, and he's asking, if you're a Canadian citizen, do you need to apply for FCCPT to work in New York? So if you are a Canadian citizen, yes, you need an evaluation. And if you want to work in New York, you definitely need an evaluation for the state of New York. And even if you check the FSDPT website, they do mention that even if you're on the TN non-immigrant visa, you are required to have a type 1 certificate or a visa screen certificate. So you definitely need to meet the state's eligibility requirements and take your NPTE before you can start working.
Right. Thank you. All right, I can go with the next question. So we have a question, says, hi, good day. I just want to inquire about the physical therapy licensing. I'm a graduate of the PT school from Philippines, but I don't have a professional license. I'm planning to take license here in Michigan. Do I need to have a license from the Philippines before? Can I apply for a license here in Michigan? All right, it's a good question. A lot of people think that they need to license in their country before they want to apply for the NPTE in the United States. But the correct answer to this question is no, you do not require license. You do not require to be a licensed PT from the country that you're coming from. All right. It does not matter if you have a license or not. Let's say if you're from Philippines, and Philippines does not have a body, does not require you to be a licensed.
I think I'm going to take the question from here. Looks like we're having some technical issues. So just to reiterate what Ravneet was saying is that a lot of countries do not require you to be a licensed physical therapist in your home country. For example, countries like India, where your physical therapy degree itself is enough for you to start practicing. So for people who come from those countries, do not necessarily need to have a license because their home country doesn't issue one. However, depending on different state requirements, if your country does issue a license after you go through the licensing process, some states might require you to present your licensure from your home country before you can get licensed in that state. And I think this question was asked by Sirio. I hope I got the name right. But to help you more with that, and we can have one of our team members post the link on the website. If you go to the FCPT website and click on licensure, you can find more information about this different state requirements. So if you're planning to apply for the state of Michigan, everything that you need in order to be eligible to be licensed in the state of Michigan, all the information that you need regarding that will be available right there. So I think that's definitely a great resource for you to check out. And if time permits, we would be happy to share our screen and walk you through the website so that you can take a look at all of that information. I'm going to take the next question by Jericho. Which master's courses would be accepted for type 1 for immigration, and which schools offer it, preferably online? Thank you. That's a great question, Jericho. So if you look at the USCIS guidelines, you do not necessarily need to have a master's in PT per se. You could have a master's in any subject. It could be rehab science. It could be an MBA degree. It could be anything. You just need to have. It should just be equivalent to a master's degree or higher. You can take your master's course anywhere. You can take it from any school in the US, or you could take it in your home country as well. In the US, there are various, depending on what you want to major in, whether you want to major in biomechanics, ergonomics, kinesiology, rehab science, or if you want to do an MBA, there are various schools that offer it. For example, you have Dallas Baptist University, you have Loma Linda that offers a tdpt, you have University of Pittsburgh that offers a master's in rehab science. All of these courses are accepted. As far as you have a master's degree in any field, you're good to go. Like you will be, it will meet the eligibility requirements for type 1 licensure.
Right.
Ravneet, do you want to
Thank
take
you
the
for
next
covering me,
question?
Vrunda.
You're
Yes.
very welcome, Ravneet.
Yes. Are we taking questions from Shelly? Just answer the question for Shelly.
Okay, let me take a look.
Yeah, the question is, I'm CWT4 and licensed PTA in New York. And my question is, will I qualify for PTA license in Texas or New Mexico? Shelly, yeah, Vrunda, maybe you can go ahead with the answer if my internet connection breaks again. We don't want the listeners to wait for their answers, So Vrunda, go ahead.
Sure. I think, Shelly, as far as I know, you will be required, like, for example, especially for the state of Texas. So Texas is one of those states where the evaluation for, like, even if you do a PT evaluation for Texas, you can take the PTA exam for it. That's similar to how the state of New York works as well. Having said that, as far as I know, you will be required to apply for, you will be applied to go through the Texas evaluation before you can endorse your license. Sometimes, depending on how many years of experience you have and other factors, some states do make exceptions. So I think a great thing to do would be to write to the Texas State Board and check with them if there's anything extra that you need to do, or if they would be willing to accept your application based on the fact that you have already been practicing in New York for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's the state boards that make the final decision.
All right, perfect. If you guys are listening to us, and if you are very, if you're like, okay, I'm getting my answer, or I didn't get the proper answer, you can comment again and say, hey, can you please repeat, or can you be more specific about some things? So yeah.
I'm just going to add one more thing, Ravneet. If we miss out on a couple of questions or anything, or if you need any follow-up information, please feel free to email us at contact@fccpt.org. We have a huge team to support you, and we'd be happy to answer your questions.
That is right. All right. We have another question, which is from Shaz Lamar. I can read the question for you, Vrunda, and maybe you can answer the question. It says, hi, I started doing my licensing procedure with Florida, but as I go along, I'm realizing and hearing that using the New York route is easier. Is there any way of having FCCPT add New York and send documents to them without having to start from scratch? That is, having to collect documents fresh from the back home. It took me a year to collect documents, and I don't want to start again. Yet I want to have an easier outcome, for which it seems New York is better and faster.
Shaz, great question. Unfortunately, New York is the one state that works a little differently. You will be required to send your documents again, even if you have, like when you sent your initial documents to FCCPT, if those were for a different state, or if you did not pick New York as your state, you will be required to send your documents from your home country. So that's something you need to think.
I like to add something here. How about, Shaz, you call FCCPT and tell them, hey, due to the COVID situation, it's not possible anymore and it's getting very difficult. Just try to talk to them and try to convince them and explain your situation. Sometimes, because I believe they have the database of your documents, and if they want, they can share with New York, because they accept and they share transcripts with the third parties. For example, if you want to send your transcripts to the school, they do that. So they should be able to do that for New York if there is any possibility. So I encourage you to call FCCPT and talk about the situation, so that if there's any chance, your situation can be handled. But most likely with our experiences, it hasn't happened yet. Just take a shot. It's a gamble. You get it. I mean, it's going to be very easy for you if you get it. Right?
I agree with Ravneet. I think there's no harm in asking.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the next question. Mansi asks, "Hi there. Which are all college options for online DPT in New York after masters? And for type 1, will all courses be covered in tdpt?" Fabulous question, Mansi. I love this question. So first of all, you mentioned online options. In New York, I think if it's online, then it doesn't matter if you are in New York or in Texas or in North Carolina or anywhere. At the end of the day, it is online. If you're looking for a hybrid program, which is partly online and partly on-site, I think Touro College is one of the schools that a lot in New York. That's one of the schools that a lot of students apply to because it offers a CPT while you're a student. And as for type 1, will all the courses be covered in tdpt? The answer is it depends. It depends on your education. Like there's not one like depending on which degree you have. You might like the TDPT program may or may not cover all the deficits that you might have on your report. So I think getting your evaluation done, seeing how many deficits you have, and then deciding which college you want to apply to would be a better option in this case. But to answer your question, there's no guarantee that if you do a TDPT from XYZ school, then 100% you're not going to have any deficits. You might have fewer deficits, no doubt about that, but it's not like you're going to have zero deficits. So I hope that answers your question, Mansi. Sirio responds that Sirio's question is, "I got my credentialing result from FCCPT and I'm deficient with diagnostic imaging. Do you have any idea what schools offer this subject?" Sirio, if you check out the FCPT website, we do offer a service known as post-evaluation advisor, where we analyze your whole report and we try to offer the fastest and the cheapest options for you to fulfill your deficits. Most of the commonly recommended schools would be Arcadia University or University of Michigan, Northeastern University, University of Montana. So most of these schools do cover most of the deficits. But having said that, I would definitely recommend that you check out that option so that we can take a look at your report and offer various courses. Because the thing with these courses is that there might be 5 or 6 universities that offer a particular course, but they might offer that course only once a year or only twice a year. And meanwhile, you might be able to find another college which might be a little bit more expensive, but they offer that same course multiple times a year. So depending on how much you're willing to spend, how much time you have to fulfill these courses, we can help you select the best options for you specifically.
Great. Brunda, I think our connection was broken again while you were talking about the TDPT schools. Would you like to take 1 more minute to talk about the TDPT schools asked by Mansi Patel?
Yes, sure. I will definitely. I was saying that doing a TDPT does not guarantee that you will not have any deficits in your evaluation. You might have fewer deficits, but there's no guarantee that you'll have zero deficits. And having said that, if the course is online, it doesn't matter which part of the country you're in. The school doesn't have to be in New York. And if you're looking at hybrid programs or just even on campus programs, there's New York University, there's Touro University. Touro offers a hybrid course, partly on campus, partly offsite. So those are some of the options that you can look into. In addition to that, Ravneet, if you can share the link with the students, if you go to the APTA website, they have a directory of TDPT programs. So you can definitely look into, if you are considering doing your TDPT, you can look into those programs and see which one fits your needs the best.
Yeah, let me tell you, Vrunda, while we are talking here, Derek, who is the CEO for the facts, is when you say post-evaluation, when you say TDPT, he's posting all the links in the comments so that while you're talking, people get to see the comment with the link and they're just clicking on the link. So I think even if you don't find your link, please let us know. We'll be happy to share the links again. Right?
Yes, and we can share them after the live streaming is over, so you can have all the information in the
Absolutely.
comments section. I'm going to take the next question from Dhara. Hello, Vrinda and Ravneet. I'm from Michigan. If I want to transfer my license to another state, does FCPT help with this process? And do I need to take TOEFL for transferring the license? Yes, Dhara, we absolutely can help you with this process. We have team members who are licensed in the state of Michigan as well and who've endorsed their license, so they can help they would be happy to answer any question that you may have. Regarding TOEFL, Michigan does require you to have TOEFL, but if you have a degree from the US, you might be able to waive that prerequisite. So again, depends on your situation. You may or may not be able to get TOEFL waived.
Vrunda, can I ask a favor from you?
Sure.
I think it's a great opportunity with the question. If we provide services on helping endorsement or knowing the requirements for the NPTE, can you please share the page, how to go to the FACTS website and how to go to the state-wise information so that it becomes easier for everyone to look into the requirements state-wise? I know that our team, especially Derek, has put a lot of effort, has spent days and nights to put that information over there. So the website is always updated. Feel free to take consultations or email us if you still don't get it. But I think if you guys are looking at your screens, you can go to the factspt.org.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay, so first thing that I wanted to share, and this is something I was talking about previously, if you click on help and US licensure, you can find information about every state. So for example, if you're looking at Alabama, so you are required to take TOEFL, you're required to take NPT, you are required to take a jurisprudence exam, and that's for licensure by examination. And then you have licensure by endorsement, where you may not be required to take TOEFL. So you can find information about every single state. If you keep scrolling down, you will also find, like, if you have any follow-up questions, you can send those to us, or you can reach out to the state board directly. Here's the information about all the different state boards. If you're looking for specific NPTE related information, here's a list of the states that require you to take TOEFL, NPT, jurisprudence exam. Some states require you to undergo a supervised clinical practice. So there's information about that. And a lot of you ask us about which states accept retro coursework tools. So here's more information about that, where you can find a list of states that accept retro coursework tool and states that don't accept retro coursework tool. So that's one thing. And if you need to reach out to us, you can always email us at contact@FCPT. And if you need to sign up for anything, then you can click on services and then click on consultation or post-evaluation advisor, whatever you're interested in.
Absolutely. Great. Thank you, Vrunda. We have more questions. Before we move on to the questions, guys, I want to let you know that we had planned for a 20-minute phone call, but because the internet connection broke 2 times, so we are going to extend the session for 10 more minutes, right? Would that be okay, Vrunda?
Yeah, I'm okay with it, Ravneet.
All right, great.
Okay,
so we have a question. It says,
I think we lost Ravneet again, at least on my end. Okay, I'm just going to read out the question, the next question. The question is posted by Tom, and he says that he's a green card holder with a bachelor's degree in physical therapy from the UK, looking to apply for licensure in Florida. Would that be just a credentialing evaluation and not a type 1? Any estimated time frame from applying to sitting for the NPTE? Yes, Tom, that would just be a credential evaluation because you have a green card. You do not require to go through the type 1 process or meet any of the type 1 requirements. Depending on your year of graduation, you might be eligible for a retro coursework tool as well. The time frame, so once you submit your documents, FCCPT takes anywhere between 4 to 6 months to finish your evaluation and send it to you. The timelines may be a little different because of the COVID situation. If once you get your evaluation report, if you have no deficits, then you're good to go. You can directly apply with the state board and take your exam. If you do happen to have a few deficits, then depending on how many deficits you have, you'll have to do those courses, which may take anywhere between 3 to 6 months, and then you apply for a reevaluation, and then you can take your NPTE. So the process will take at least 6 months, and at least 6 months for you to take the NPTE once you open your file with the FCCPT. So Anis is asking, if someone is DPT from Pakistan and then interested to get a degree in the US, then is tdpt beneficial or need to go for some other course? Anis, it really depends on your reason for doing the tdpt. Like, if you are really interested in learning something more like related to the physical therapy learning and interested in learning something about like something that's related to the physical therapy profession, then you can by all means go ahead and do your tdpt. If you feel like you are interested in a different field, like maybe more on the business side or the administrative side, then you can consider other courses like an MBA or MHA. But it really depends on why you want to do the TDPT. Is it because you want to improve your clinical skills, or is it just to be on a student visa and come and study in the US? So I hope that answers your question. Shaz says that if FCCPT says no to adding New York and sending them my documents, is Florida an easy state to get your credentials from? And should I just accept it, or is this problematic and my process might just end up taking forever? Shaz, let me go back to your first question and see which state you have already applied to. Oh, you've already started. You can stick to Florida if you feel like you don't want to. If you feel like you don't want to send your documents again, you can stick to the state that you have already applied to. Just asking them if it's okay to start a new application doesn't mean that they will start your process from scratch. They will continue that process. And if you want to start another application for New York, that's okay too. Florida is definitely a good state to get licensed in. You are required to take jurisprudence exam for the state of Florida. There are some other states also that accept retro coursework tool, like Texas, Michigan. So if you graduated before 2017, then you can use an older coursework tool for your evaluation. So it's definitely easier applying to those states. Manuel's question is, type 1 is for immigration. I do not want to immigrate. I want to go to the border work and then back and forth to Canada. I was reading under NAFTA, you do not need type 1. Manuel, that's a great question. And that's something that you can definitely check into. I think if NAFTA is different from the TN non-immigrant visa, then you may not be required to have a type 1. And Ravneet, please feel free to jump in and correct me if I'm wrong. But if it's TN non-immigrant visa, you need a type 1. Just to be sure, I think I would send an email to either FCCPT or USCIS and check with them if they need you to do a type 1 evaluation or not, just to be on the safer side and to save time and money and do the things correctly.
Right, I agree, because when you are a permanent resident in Canada, and if you want to work in the United States, you're still a non-immigrant. So you still have to fulfill the requirements of the USCIS in order to work in the United States. But yeah, we can always confirm the information, and we can always check things for you guys and let you know the answers.
Sounds good. Manuel, feel free to send us an email with some more information or some more background information, and we'd be happy to find out an appropriate response to your question and assist you with this process.
Right.
Okay. Looks like we've answered all the questions.
That's great. I'm sorry for my poor connection here. I'm on a mini vacation right now, so I think there are some connection issues here. So I apologize everyone for that, but I think Vrunda, you did a great job answering those questions and took over.
Thanks, Ravneet. So did you.
Thanks for being supportive.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So.
And thank you to all of our viewers for joining us on Sunday morning and spending your time with us. Like we mentioned, we are happy to assist you in any way possible. Feel free to reach out to us at contact@fccpt.org. And we will be sharing a couple of links once we stop streaming this live webinar. And it was great having all of you and answering your questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. You guys have a good day, and thank you for believing in us and following facts on Facebook. And it just feels so good when your community believes you and gives you the opportunity to give something back to you guys. So it's an honor for us to serve for the Facts PT. This is going to be the only and first organization run by foreign trained PTs for foreign trained PTs. So it's very clear. It's run by foreign trained PTs and for foreign trained PTs. So we are here for you guys. So please let us know if you have any questions through our support emails or through the website.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.